Who Dat Nation, we're starting to close in on Atlanta Falcons today here on our Saints channel at Chat Sports. Just look at the work we've been doing this week. 63 new subscribers so far this week. Falcons only 26. We've more than doubled them this week, but still a little bit ways to go to pass them in total subscribers, just over 1,000 away. Help us get there. You see the number there. We're less than 200 away from 4,000. We get there, maybe we can beat the Falcons to 5,000. You just never know. Either way, we're lapping, what do they say, the Dirty Birds? I mean, come on, that's nothing. Subscribe to Saints Now. News, rumors, combines going on, free agency draft. We do it all here at the channel. Subscribe for more Saints coverage. You're watching Saints Now by Chat Sports. I'm Harrison Graham. Appreciate Who Dat Nation for standing up and clicking on today's video. Hope you guys are planning a great weekend ahead as well. A couple of stories to get into, including the possibility of signing a star wide receiver. But first, Mickey Loomis spoke out on Jameis Winston, the free agent to be quarterback. Met with the media at the Combine on Thursday. Obviously, Winston is a free agent that New Orleans has to make a decision on over the next couple of weeks. And, you know, let's be honest, it's a big decision because quarterback is, the most important position in sports. And if the Saints are trying to contend next year, that's a position they at least need to get decent production from. And I would say Jameis was providing that before the injury last year. Here's what Loomis had to say regarding Jameis Winston. Quote, hopefully we can get something done with one of the guys that is available. Obviously includes Jameis, certainly an option for us, he says, and hopefully we're an option for him as well. The back part of that quote makes me think, okay, the Saints, they're interested in bringing Jameis back. They probably have a price in mind that they want to keep him at, and if Jameis is interested and will agree to that price, then he'll probably be back. If Jameis wants more money, the Saints may say, Jameis, we can give you, let's just say the number is $10 million. And Jameis says, I want 15. Well, we're not going to 15. Maybe it's a money stipulation at the end of the day, but it does certainly seem like the Saints do have at least a decent amount of interest to bring in Jameis back as he continues to recover from his ACL injury. Do you think that Jameis wants to return to the Saints? Type Y for yes, type N for no. I think he should want to because I don't think there's any guarantees out that door if he goes and signs somewhere else. Let me know what you guys think on this one. Now, there's certainly going to be other suitors out there, maybe even going back to Tampa Bay. Who knows what that situation ends up playing out with. Pittsburgh is the team looking for a quarterback, maybe Houston, although I tend to think they'll start Davis Mills. Washington, we keep hearing they apparently tried to get Russell Wilson. They're desperate for a quarterback. Could they circle back to Jameis if some of their top targets aren't available? I certainly think that's possible, and a couple of other teams could be in the mix as well. So let's kind of explore. He could stay, he could go, why he would stay, why he could go. He'd have Michael Thomas back. That would be appealing. Knows the system. Locker likes him. And I'll add this as well. If you re-sign Jameis, he's probably your starter. I mean, it would take a lot for him not to start. I don't think Taysom Hill or Trevor Siemian would start over him. Maybe if you draft Ian Book too, he's not ready. If you drafted if you drafted a quarterback, I do want to mention this. If anyone in this draft class is probably at least a year away. So I think if he re-signs, he'd be the starter, which that's not guaranteed elsewhere. Why he could leave? Look, no Sean Payton anymore. Obviously, Drew Brees is gone. That's who he reset his career under. Other teams could offer more money. That's certainly true. There's certainly other teams that are intriguing out there. But again, I'll go back to this. I don't think a lot of teams are out there that are competitive and trying to win now, which I still think the Saints are, and can guarantee him a starting role. I don't think there's that many jobs out there that can do those two things. Will he play with the Saints next year? Type S for stay, he'll come back. Type L for leave. What will famous Jameis do this offseason, and will he be back in New Orleans? I think the Saints will re-sign Jameis Winston because you start looking around the quarterback market. Russell Wilson and Aaron Rodgers, those are the dominoes everybody are waiting for. I don't think those guys are leaving at this point. Obviously, with Jameis, you've got the ACL recovery. You got to see where he's at with his rehab, but it seems like he's on a pretty, good recovery there. But again, back to the quarterbacks that could be available, there's just not a lot of options out there for a relatively cheap price tag, which Jameis should be. And I think Jameis likes being in New Orleans. He's attacking this rehab. He's always got a smile on his face. I mean, look at this guy. He's just cracking smiles at whatever he's doing. He's on the treadmill. He's running around. We looked at this photo the other day. He's always doing weird drills, too, by the way. And you're like, what the hell is he doing? But, you've got that going on. First time throwing just the other day since the ACL tear as well. Oh, look at these gym photos. This is just this makes me want to run through a wall if I'm a Saints fan here. So he's getting after it. He's starting to rehab, and this looks like a guy who's ready to be ready by training camp. And obviously, if the Saints medical staff signs off on all that, I think bringing him back makes some sense, because I don't think you would have to pay huge money to do so for Jameis Winston. So I'll certainly be fascinated to see if he ends up returning to Who Dat Nation. How about this? How about signing Amari Cooper? Well, it looks like the Dallas Cowboys are likely going to release him. That, according to ESPN's Adam Schefter on Friday. Saints certainly need help at wide receiver. Yes, Michael Thomas is coming back, but they need more help around him. Now, the problem here is kind of talking about quarterbacks too, is Cooper's probably still going to make good money. If the Cowboys cut him, he was making $20 million a year. Maybe it's a little less, but are the Saints going to pay top dollar for a second receiver? They're already paying Thomas big. Maybe, maybe not. But before I get questions, but the salary cap is fake. I mean, is it literally fake? No, but can it be manipulated that it basically is? Yes. I mean, that's kind of how it goes. The Saints have been doing this for years. If they wanted Amari Cooper, they could pay for him. The question is, do they want to pay him? That's a different question. But hey, it's interesting. I mean, he's a player I certainly like. You would have 2 number 1 receivers with him and Thomas, and that would go a very long way, and it could help out a guy like Jameis Winston. Now, guys, New Orleans is going to be lit for St. Patrick's Day. Bourbon Street, it's going to be popping. Get some St. Patty's gear on sale at chatsports.com/Saints Green. Got some T-shirts available. A couple other items as well. The green just matches New Orleans Mardi Gras kind of flow. You got all the drinks, the beverages. You never know what someone's going to be dancing around in the streets down there. It's just a good time. It's a party. That's what I like to call New Orleans. Chatsports.com/Saints Green. Got to represent on St. Patty's Day, which is coming up in just a couple of weeks. So go get some gear right now. Let's talk about the NFL draft a little bit here on Saints Now. Chris Olave has met with the New Orleans Saints, one of the top receivers in this year's draft. I think with his combine performance, he's going to be a first-round pick. So could the Saints draft him? I definitely think it's possible. He met with them on Monday. Olave said it was a great meeting. I would love to be there. And who wouldn't? I mean, New Orleans is great. Ohio State to New Orleans pipeline, it's been strong. I mean, Michael Thomas played at Ohio State, as we have discussed in the past, and I think those two players would play well with one another. 6 players in total on the roster from Ohio State, so they have not been shy from adding talent from the Buckeyes. And Ohio State, Chris Olave would mesh well with Thomas, because Thomas more of that possession receiver. Olave could take the top off a defense. Here's what Olave had to say about his relationship with Michael Thomas. Says, talked to him a couple times. He's a great role model for me and one of the best receivers in the game from prior years and years to come. Just be able to communicate with him, send text back and forth, and see from his perspective. Just to be able to use him as a guy to lean on, I feel like is huge. And yeah, that's a very good point. Being able to talk to a guy who went to Ohio State and has excelled in the NFL. And I mentioned what Olave's done at the Combine. I mean, I thought he tested really well. Sub 4.4, 32-inch vertical, which isn't insane, but it's good athleticism. The broad jump was good. He had a really good Combine for the receivers. Some NFL article, he's the second best receiver in the draft. I'm not ready to go that far, but he's probably a top 5 receiver for me, and I'd say at least 5 or 6 receivers are going to go in the first round, which means the Saints could very much be in play to draft him if they decide to go that route. He's smooth, he's fluid, runs good routes, good hands, and the catch radius is there as well, as at times last year, C.J. Stroud, Ohio State's quarterback, could be a little inaccurate. Olave was able to cover up for that with making really good catch with his hands. He's one of the top guys in the draft. I think his skill set meshes well with Michael Thomas because Thomas doesn't run a lot of downfield routes. He's more of that intermediate guy. Olave can go deep. He can run the skinny post. He can run the fade route, and he can be a guy that you just get the ball to in space as well. I would love that connection with New Orleans, and I think Jameis with these two guys, I think that's pretty interesting if that ends up playing out that way in 2022. What would your one-word reaction be if the New Orleans Saints draft Chris Olave? Get your votes and share your thoughts. Rise up in the comments and let us know what would be your one-word reaction if the Saints drafted Chris Olave. By the way, one more note, mailbag soon, #Saints, to get your questions in sometime early next week. We will get to a mailbag here, so #Saints, we're picking at least 2 questions from this video, so hey, load them up right now. The best questions will be chosen, and we'll see you guys soon here on Saints Now.